I think we're live. Who knows?
This is what happened last week. Good morning.
Facebook changed the system.
They did.
Every
they
week.
changed it. Every time we go live. Good morning, everybody. People only know the mysteries of Facebook. It's a continually evolving mystery. Facebook Live.
Good morning.
Oh, Pete's got it on his laptop. Now he understands why last week when he wasn't here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live from Pinhole Quilting. This is our Pershore showroom. Around us, we're surrounded by beautiful long arms, Handi Quilter Longarms. And I look forward to seeing any messages from anybody who joins us either live or welcome if you're joining us on Catch Up on YouTube and on Facebook. Wherever you are in the world, welcome. I'm Liz, and behind the camera is my husband Pete, and we are retailers for the Handi Quilter Longarms, and we sell lots of accessories, both well, anything to do with long arm quilting. So that's loads of different threads and stencils, and today we're going to be doing some demonstrations. So if you continue watching, you're going to find out a little bit more, if you didn't know it, on needles, thread. If you came to our demonstrations with our workshops last week, you already know this stuff. So you might learn some new things, but hopefully you already know these. But you might learn something new because we've got some new products. So hopefully you will be excited to watch what we're going to bring you today. Have we got anybody watching, Pete?
We have. So Val Brooks is first off the mark,
Val,
as I almost
hot
always.
Off the laptop, hot off the iPad, wherever you are. And we had the lovely Steph here last week. And Steph, it's due to you, Val, that we have Steph join us. Steph is an absolute joy.
So Val's actually currently sitting for her 15 minutes waiting after her booster jab, but she's forgotten her headphones.
Oh, so just broadcast it to everybody.
Claire Shortland. Hi, Claire. Hope you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah, Claire.
And Derek's watching. Hi, Derek.
Hi, Derek.
Annette Hulden, who's
Derek
going to be
and
coming on our training event very soon.
Oh, Annette, Round Cow Road. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Annette. We're going to be chatting away.
And Hazel Gray.
Hi, Hazel. I hope the Pro Stitch is working well for you. I hope our training is paid off.
Janice Collett. Helen as well.
Janice is going to be coming.
And Helen as well is coming to our training. And
Helen is also coming.
Di
Yes.
Bell.
And Di is also coming. She's bringing her little Sweet 16 and plugging it into one of our tables at 2:30 on Monday. I know that.
Anne Colburn in Ireland. Morning.
Oh, good morning, Anne. I hope you're getting on well with your machine.
And Sheena is with us as usual.
Oh, yeah. Sheena, you're coming along to hopefully our Quilts for Care Leavers. I'll be sending out an email about that later on. Probably early next week. I'm going to be talking about Quilts for Care Leavers in a moment.
So, and we've got Lynn.
Oh, Pete, we didn't retain the plug for this. You need to keep that plugged in, babe.
Okay.
Okay.
So, a few more hellos. Lindsay Cash. Hi, Lindsay.
Oh, hi, Lindsay. In beautiful Switzerland. Hi.
Jean McNeil, Georgie Hodgson, Carol.
Oh, Georgie, we'll be seeing you as well.
Carol in New Jersey.
Hi, Carol in New Jersey. I always want to say New Jersey. Sorry, I can't help it. It's because we watched too many episodes of The Sopranos, and we were playing the music to that. I came home yesterday, and Pete was playing the opening theme tune to The Sopranos. That epic music. Right, let's go. We are going to get on and talk about long arm quilting rather than Sopranos, which was brilliant though. Can't help but love that theme tune. Right, we've got loads of beautiful threads here, but we're going to talk about a few other things. Are you going to be ready to... Oh, should I just give a quick roundup of what we did this week while you fiddle with the power supply for that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Right, so I'm sending you off on missions.
Impossible missions.
Impossible missions. Well, I just don't want you to run out of gas on the... No, you can do it. You can do it. We had a really... We don't ever not have a busy week, obviously, but I was on my own over the weekend. Pete came back very late on Monday. He had to do numerous tests because the new rules for COVID didn't come into effect until this weekend. So poor Pete had to do lots of tests. We had a lovely installation with Jackie, didn't we, on Wednesday?
We did.
With Pro Stitcher, with Amara. You okay? Mm-hmm. And that was great. Lovely to meet you, Jackie. Well, lovely to meet you again. And I hope you get on well with your pro stitcher. She did call me up about 5 minutes after we'd left, but that was resolved. You've got to turn the machine on. Easy mistake. And we had a lovely workshop with rulers, feathers and fills. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Claire and Leanne, I'm sorry that you both couldn't make it. There's a really nasty cold going around. So you guys, you missed out on an absolutely beautiful workshop there. I'm really sorry about that. Rulers, feathers and fills on Saturday. And we had some very nice visitors. Particularly lovely to see Jean, who brought some quilts with her, and her tribute to Captain Tom. I'll post on our Facebook page her lovely quilt, Captain Tom quilt. She did 100 applique circles. She'd had some health issues and she wanted to make a tribute to the NHS. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Rainbow NHS tribute. One of our new products, we've just got in some more stencils, a few new stencils, not that many, but we've topped up our stencils, and we've got an ultimate pencil in, which is made from the ultimate chalk, but it's in a pencil form. Some of you may be familiar with this. I'm going to do a quick demo, Pete, before we start stitching, because I've got some blank fabric. You've got to have your iron reasonably hot. But the nice thing about this, you can sharpen it. I forgot to bring my pencil sharpener over, Pete. But you can sharpen it. So it's made by the same people. Can I demo one here?
Yes, John Cole Morgan's got that cold at the moment. John, I've been reading that you've been suffering with that as well.
Oh, bless.
Thankfully, we've been
You've got man flu, right, John? Oh, bless you.
Oh, that's harsh.
I couldn't help it. No, because who said, I was speaking to a customer yesterday. Oh, that's right. I was speaking to a customer yesterday, and she just placed an order for one of my machines, and she said she'd had a really, really terrible cold. So she hadn't been able to call me back. And I said, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. And she said her husband had it too, but his was much worse, obviously. Just happens. Yeah, you get really bad colds, don't you, Pete? But you do actually have a particular reason why you get yours worse. Genuine reason. Now, I'm going to do, but John, I do genuinely hope you get better soon, because it is actually, because we've all been isolating, we've all been building up for a nasty one. I'm going to do a little feather. I'm going to just practice my feathers. I'm just showing up. Okay, so I've done my feather, and I want to get rid of it. Just going to get my iron, which hopefully is warm. And if you want to get rid of it, yeah. Then it just goes. Et voila.
So Val's back in the car.
I don't do shirts.
Val's back in the car so she can hear again.
Can I tell you? Look, it's all gone. Isn't that great?
Nowhere to be seen.
So that is the ultimate marking pencil. So where we've got the pounce, this is the same stuff, but in a pencil form, and you can sharpen it with a normal pencil sharpener.
Is that online yet, Liz?
Not yet online, but it will be. I'll get that up. Oh, what's the time? I'll get it up by 3 o'clock this afternoon. I can't do it much sooner. I'm going to say 3 p.m. because we've got to get the offers up before. Okay, by 3 p.m. I'm not going to set myself too tough a target because we've got a lot of stuff on today. Now, I was just thinking something else. Oh, yes. Yes. Can I just mention the two farmers? Yes, the two farmers. We had two farmers in. I'm not going to mention any names, but we did have two farmers in on the same day and talking about the whole man flu thing and stuff. And both men who came in with their wives last week, both wanted to know if these long arm machines darn their socks. What is it about farmers and darning socks?
Well, they get through their socks, don't they?
But
Anyway.
I did actually say, though, in response, on one of the quotes, I did put as a PS, it isn't really designed to darn the socks, but if the customer would like to buy the Handi felting foot kit, it may be possible. Okay? With woolen socks.
Question from Val. How different is that marking pencil from the Panda pencils?
Yeah, it's not identical. It's not identical. This is gesso. This is gesso.
So this is a Panda pencil?
Panda pencil. And I don't know. I don't know how different it is. There must be some similarities, but I don't know. Good question, Val. Je ne sais pas. Okay. One of the big differences, one has a paper out and one doesn't. But other than that, I don't know about the main constituents of the ultimate marking pencil. I can ask the manufacturer of the ultimate marking pencil what is in the product, and I will do that. Because we've only just got them in. Ask the question. Thank you, Val. I will email. I did email the following a question from somebody about the Panda pencil. I did email the manufacturer to ask what was in it, and I was told it is gesso, which is limestone with some. What did they say? I have got the answer somewhere. I think I put it. Actually, I did put it on the website. So if you look on our website for the Panda pencil, it does actually tell you exactly what the manufacturer told me. But I haven't asked about the ultimate. I will do that, Val. What is it made of? Thank you very much. Now, we are going to talk about thread and feet. When you get your Handi quilter, you get a standard foot, and you also get an open toe foot. Depending on the type of long arm you get, depending on whether, like an Amara, you get the foot here and the needle here, but on the Infinity and on the Moxie, you actually get the foot behind the needle. So the arrangement of the foot and the needle is slightly different on two of the machines, but all the others, it's side by side like this. So sometimes, and when with this foot, for example, the open toe foot lies like this. I think the nail's not very good. But if it's behind, obviously it doesn't lie like that. The open toe is actually this angle here. It's open in this direction. So you get a different open toe foot for the Infinity and the Moxie. So it's open in that direction. So it's sort of like that. Now, those are the standard 2 feet that you get. Optionally, if you want to do like lots of micro quilting, you can get this micro foot. And when we first saw it at Houston, we thought somebody had broken a foot, because that's what it looks like. That's the micro foot. It's a really good foot, and it probably is, aside from the sure foot, it's probably one of our biggest selling feet, isn't it, Pete? It's a very good foot, and what it does, it's designed to do what all the feet do, which is hold the fabric whilst the stitch is being formed. It's called a kinetic foot, and it's designed to just hold it sufficiently that it forms a good stitch. So this is the micro foot, and if you're going to do lots and lots of very, very fine work, we would recommend the micro foot. It gives you amazing visibility. So it just goes onto this foot here, onto this assembly. Okay, so that's the feet that we're going to look at. And I'm going to put on the micro foot so that you can see what I'm doing. When you put the feet onto your machine, you can lift up this assembly. If you don't have very strong hands, You might want to take the machine to the side.
Yes.
Optionally, you might...
A couple of questions in this.
Yeah.
First of all, you've got the new pencil in. Do they do one for lighter fabric at all in a different colour?
No, they
don't.
only do that one.
They only do that one.
Yeah.
Be good if they did a blue one as well, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess it would. Yeah, but there's always the problem of the dye.
Yes, Helen. Helen, you've got your Moxie, and it looks as if you've got the wrong foot that's been supplied with your machine. If you have...
We'll give you one.
The wrong style open toe foot that doesn't open to the front. There were some of the early Moxies where Handi Quilter supplied the wrong one. We have replacements, so I can give you one of those when you're here on the course, Helen. But for anybody else for whom we've supplied a Moxie who doesn't have the open toe foot that opens towards the front, get in touch and we can send you one.
And I think we might have been the people that told them that
yes, they weren't aware.
Wrong. Yes. Yeah, we didn't. Obviously, we didn't realise either, did we? Because it's not something that you necessarily notice. Okay, now one of the things that we got in fairly recently was this magnet. I'm just going to have a look and see. I don't know which. I don't know what needle I've got in here at the moment, so I'm just going to take the needle out. Let's see with my really bad eyesight. It's an MR4. That's an 18. It's a crankshank. I'll just take that out. So the needle I'd got in there was a high-speed needle. I'm just going to show you as well how we can use the magnet to ensure we get good alignment. I just also want to show you what I would like to talk to you about, which is different weights of thread and changing your needle and threading up. I'm not going to do, what's the time? 25 past. I'm not going to do as much as we do on the class, but I'm going to give you an insight into what the kind of thing we do on the class, because I think one of the things that we really focus on is giving you the tools and techniques and the confidence on our foundation workshop. And I don't think there are many other people, certainly not on the scale that we do it, that do this. And education and training is absolutely paramount for getting the most out of your long arm. If you don't get this training, your long arm has the capacity to become either a glorified pot holder, a great place to hang your quilts, unquilted, so your quilt tops, or as one of our lovely customers who came last week said, we had some really funny, when we do the introductions, we had some really funny introductions. And one of the ladies, Debbie, I'm going to mention Debbie, she said, my long arm, when my friends come over, I look really professional. I show them the long arm and my quilt tops look fantastic draped over the front of it. And I think that is what a lot of people have the capacity to look like when they buy a long arm. We don't want you to look really professional and have flimsies or unquilted tops. We want you to look really professional and be either entering quilt competitions or handing out your beautiful finished quilts to your friends and relatives, or doing whatever you want to do with them as finished quilt tops. That's what it's about. And feeling like, I can do this. This is the feeling you get when you take that finished quilt off your frame is fantastic. And after you've finished your first practice piece and you load up a quilt and you finish it, that should be what you're aiming for. Not having loads and loads of practice pieces and just playing and playing and playing. It should be about finishing quilts. That is what it's about, okay? That's what we're about. So that's what the foundation course is designed to do. It's designed to give you the confidence. And behind me, I've got a whole load of quilt tops that let me just do that first. Oh, I'm darting around. Let me do this first, then we'll talk about the quilts for K-Levers. So, any comments, Pete, before I get on to this? Because I'm going to do some...
No, just plough on.
Okay, plough on. I will plough on. This is a sample of 3 different weights of thread. Can you see that, Pete? Oh, it's unbound,
Yes, that's good.
Carolyn.
Yeah.
It's unbound. Carolyn's coming up to our Quilts for Care Leavers event, I hope. Well, you're going to be with the Mad Dog Lady, so she's looking forward to seeing you. So on the left, we've got your left. This one here is the finest, right?
Yes.
So we've got 80 weight. In the middle, we've got 60 weight. 80 weight Decobob, 60 weight glide, 40 weight glide.
It's less easy on screen to see the difference between the 60 and the 80, but it's very clear the impact of the 40 weight.
Yes. Okay. And another sample here is also more obvious probably. This is my sort of bit of a mix sample here. This is a Cindy Needham stencil where you've got the outer ruler work is glide 40 and the feathers on the inside is glide 60. So glide is a trilobal polyester. We would normally use it either with a 16 needle or an 18 needle. I've used it with both. We have a pre-tensioner on the Handi Quilter. Again, there are a couple of different settings that we can use with that. With the 16 needle, I tend to miss the middle hole on the pre-tensioner. With the 18 needle, I've used all three. It just shows you there are a few different ways of setting it up. The Glide 60, it comes in 20 different colors. It's a 60 weight trilobal polyester, so it's a finer thread. It's a really nice thread. You can also use it for piecing, and we can use that in the bobbin as we can with the 40. Decobob by Wonderfil. This is an 80 weight polyester. It is really nice thread. I have pieced with this. It gives you very flat seams. You can use it for your bobbin fill and for the top thread. It also comes as a pre-wound, and we sell the pre-wound M-size bobbins. And it is a lovely thread to use for nice micro fill, micro stitching. Wonderfil also do 100 weight, and that's in Visifil. And you can also use it for your bobbin. Great for micro stitching. So those are the threads that we're going to play with. First of all, we'll do the Glide 40. Okay. So for a Glide 40, I'm going to use my 16 needle. So I'll just put that in. When we put the needle in, we always want to make sure that we get the long groove going down the front. At the back, there is a little, what we call a scarf, and that runs at the back. That's the furthest away from you. These are industrial type of needles. We always use industrial needles on our Handi quilters. It means that we can run with the very, very fast speeds that we use on these machines. 2,500 on the MRP.
Yes.
And we also have, I'm going to use this magnet. So this is something we got in fairly recently. I've actually put a little arrow. It doesn't come with an arrow, but with a Sharpie marker. You can actually put your own little arrowhead on it. So I'm going to put that on the front of my needle, on the flat section, and just see whether I've got it on straight or not. I just need to move that slightly around.
Let's have a look.
So
and we'll see the impact.
Yeah, so it's slightly off, slightly to the left.
If you move.
Okay, well, it's because it's off. I'm not. You see that?
Yeah, so that's sitting on the groove of the needle, and the magnet therefore points where the groove is pointing.
Now it's straight.
There we are. So I'm standing straight onto the machine now, here. And the magnet is straight onto the needle. So that's the correct position.
Okay, so take that off. Let's just leave it on the bar so I don't lose it. And there's an eye hole here as well, a sight hole, and you just have to make sure that that's all the way up and there's no daylight. Threading up, put it on the nearest cone holder. Don't know where you want to go, Pete. Do you want to come on my right? So we take it up through this little guide, and I'm just going to take it through the top and skip the middle one. Like that. Then there's a guide above the tension assembly, and then I'm going to take it underneath, floss like you're doing your teeth, take up the slack, and then around the wire. And always just check how it feels. Just adjust it depending on how it feels compared to what I would expect it to feel like. So I just sort of do a rough guesstimate at this point. That feels okay. And then through the take-up lever, through the little piggy tail, there's a little guide hole just above the needle. And then it's going to feed through that little hole. And into the needle. What I do is I always put my a finger behind the needle, and I actually go use the groove of the needle to go down, and then it just seems to feed quite easily through. Now to start off, I just do needle down, needle up, and pull up the bobbin thread. The Amara actually has a little tie-off stitch, so I can just press the little star button, and it'll do that. My settings, I'm going to do it into precision, 11 stitches per inch. This is regulated mode, and I'm just going to press start and start stitching. Trim the threads after I've done an inch or so, and let's see what that looks like. Pop that back on the magnetic collar, which is better than having it stab me. Okay, just slacken that off a bit, it's a bit tight. Oop. Let's see how it looks compared to the next one. So with Glide, I mean, it's just a beautiful stitch. It's very defined and it's quite bold. It'd be hard to do micro stitching, but let's have a go. It's going to go into a much heavier and denser stitch. So let's go up to like a micro stitching, 15 stitches per inch, 400 stitches. I'm just going to do some like pebbling level, and I'm going to, so that this will show you, if I now compare it, if I do it in a moment and compare it to something or with one of the other threads. The other setting you might have this in is in manual. So
a couple of questions, Liz, when you're... So that was entirely manual. No stitch regulation on this setting.
oh, stitch the thread's gone.
So a couple of questions, Liz.
Yeah.
If you go back to stitch regulated.
Yeah.
One question as to what was the 400?
Oh yeah. Okay. Let me just. I don't know where that's gone. Yeah. Yeah. And
why did you miss the middle hole on the pre-tensioner?
okay. You can decrease the tension by having less than 3 holes on the pre-tensioner, and just by doing that you are decreasing the top tension. So sometimes you want to have less tension, and that's kind of something that we've found from experience that we prefer.
It's not that critical though, is it?
It's not.
For a thread like Glide 40, you can use either 2 or 3.
Yeah.
If you're using a very fine thread, then you would use perhaps only one of those holes, because it's adding some extra tension.
Correct.
And it's increasing the risk of the thread breaking.
Yeah.
But for Glide 40, you can use either 2 or 3, and you probably won't notice any difference.
I was saying to the people last week, I've used Glide with an 18 needle, 3 holes, not a problem. 16 needle, 2 holes, not a problem. So it's so forgiving. It's got a massive range. I don't know why I did that with the thread. I kind of stopped because you were coming over, and I think I just cut the thread. There wasn't actually a problem with that. So the other thing is the cruise setting I had it on. So cruise, what it does is it actually, cruise, or let's call it continuous, because of Judy Strain, and I do think continuous is a much more useful expression for what it does. It continuously sews, even when you're stationary, at 400 stitches per minute. So when you pause, it's going to keep sewing at 400 stitches per minute. And that means that when you're doing things like pebbling, it's actually a really nice setting because it gives you the smoothness of the stitches. So I'm just going to take that off now. I'm going to put on a different thread because we're going to march through the time here very, very quickly. And I want to show you the next one, Glide 60. And I'm not going to actually, in fact, I'm not going to change the needle. That's why I kind of wanted to use 16. I'm going to use Glide 60. I could have pulled this through. So I could have just snapped my ends, cut my ends, a bit like on a serger or overlocker. I could have just cut the end, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do top and bottom, skip the middle hole, and I'm going to use a 16 needle. Now, when we do the foundation workshop, we create a little table of these settings, and I encourage anybody who's got a new Handi quilter to do the same thing, and this will enable you to perhaps create for your own threads your little aide-memoire of what you used last time, because you won't remember. I guarantee you, you will not remember what you used. You won't remember what needle you used. You won't remember how many pre-tensioners you used. Not a chance. So just thread it up just the same before. And we will give this a go, and you will see how different it looks. Any comments, Pete?
No.
Is it just Val watching?
No, we've got plenty of people watching.
Okay.
Including Maya from Melbourne, who's just joined us.
Oh, nice. I hope there was no effects of the earthquake.
Earthquake? I haven't heard about an earthquake.
Well,
in
that's because
Melbourne.
relaxing in Porto?
Not much relaxing going on.
Okay. No, there can't be on a stag do. Yeah, earthquake. Melbourne.
Wow.
You don't think of Melbourne as being earthquake zone.
She says, yes, it was scary.
I bet it was. It went on for. I heard there was the radio broadcast where they somebody was literally broadcasting when the earthquake went on. Not nice. I've been in a few places where there've been earthquakes, and they're never very nice. It's not a good thing to be in the middle of. Righty-ho, here we go. So I've just pulled up my bobbin thread, and now I'm going to do a little tie off. I'm going to go into, first of all, precision. I'm going to go back to my 11 stitches per inch. I'm not doing anything in particular. I would always do like a warm-up with a bit of drawing practice. Not happened this morning.
Do you want to do some pebbles then as well, Liz, as you did with the 40 weight?
Absolutely.
Because that will be easier to make it.
So,
I mean, it is.
Okay. So I'll do pebbles with, first of all, oops. This is in my, so small, bigger. This is not in manual yet. This is in cruise, and I find easiest. This is one setting, bigger, biggest, small, bigger, biggest, small, bigger, biggest. This is my random, small, bigger, biggest. And now I'll do manual. Start at 775. Increase a bit more. Small, bigger, biggest, small, bigger, biggest, small, bigger, biggest, small. That wasn't a very good one. Bigger, biggest, small. I'll fill this section in here.
Okay, let's have a look at that.
Yeah, and to be honest, my preference is a saddle stool. Bring these right down. This is how I would normally do it, but it's hard because you wouldn't be able to see what I was doing. I would normally bring these down like that, rest my arms here, quilt in this section here, not like what I was doing. So it's quite hard to do it like I did, when that's not my normal style.
But I think we can see clearly the difference here between the 40 weight here
and then if you wanted to go finer,
60 weight,
you would go to a 60 weight, and finer still, you would go
80 weight
to an 80 or 100. Sorry, 80 weight, and that's 100 weight.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would go to a 14 needle for both of those two. Okay.
And check your needle. We've had classes this week, and we had a look at the needles before we started. And,
yes.
There were some very blunt needles,
There were.
Inevitably.
Yeah. And the last thing I wanted to, I think this is the last thing. Oh, a couple of other things. So we've got our ambassador event coming up on, well, some people are arriving Monday at the Vale Golf and Country Club. Some people are staying there, some people are staying at the Boot at Flyford Flavel. We're very excited to have the first ambassador event with Lynda Jackson, a Handi Quilter ambassador and educator. Lynda will be taking 4 days of classes. It's really exciting because obviously with COVID, we've had to rethink about how we do things. We've normally had a very big event, which is called our Academy. We had to cancel that in 2020. So we had to rethink, and Lynda is such a world-class teacher that we've been able to ask her to come here, and we're looking forward to having her arrive on Monday. She's teaching 10 stand-up and 4 sit-down quilters here in this facility, and Pete and Abigail and I will be supporting her in doing that. That's 14 quilters here for the 5th to the 8th, and then another 11 people stand-up only are coming from the 26th to the 29th. So that's going to be amazing. And I think you're going to have an absolute blast. It's a whole cloth design, and you're going to have an amazing learning experience. So looking forward to that. Malvern Quilt Show, 15th to 17th of October. Please do come along if you can. It's a great opportunity for us to come and, for you to come and meet up with us. If you're looking for a long arm, please do come along. It's the Quilt for Care Leavers. I have been absolutely blown away by the quilt tops. Marion brought over, and I think 18 quilt tops Marion brought. That's the Facebook Live header. Look at these quilt tops. Look, this stack here, this is what Marion brought. And also all of these, look, these incredible quilts here as well. Maggie Lloyd-Jones brought these in the week before as well. Absolutely incredible.
So we're very pleased to be supporting that charity and helping get all these quilt tops quilted.
Yes, our aim is to do 60 in 2 days. I'd like to do more than that. But we've got over 20 quilters and binders and people helping out. I had all the wadding arrive yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday on a massive pallet. 6 huge rolls of wadding arrived. I had all the backing arrived 2 days before that. I'm going to fundraise for that because that was quite a outlay. I'd like to fundraise for that. I'll be doing a GoFundMe or something for that. But Pinhole Quilting, we are supplying all of the machines, the thread and the lunches for everybody. 2 lovely ladies, Sharon and Pauline, are hosting 8 people between them, which is fantastic. So thank you, Sharon and Pauline, for doing that. We've got people doing all kinds of things. We're really excited about the event. I used to run similar things when I was at the Cotton Patch. And the last time I did it at the Cotton Patch, we actually quilted over 52. I want to beat that target. Not that I'm competitive with myself at all, but I'm slightly want to do more. So we are thrilled to be able to do that. What else have we got, Pete? That's it. That's it.
Somebody likes your top. Yes, you could sort of recreate that in quilting if you have.
Isn't
if your
it
ruler
cool?
work is good.
Isn't it cool?
Just a straight ruler.
Icebreaker. When I wasn't feeling very well, I was lying in bed on Instagram, and these adverts kept coming up for Icebreaker, and Pete saw the credit card bill. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, this is Icebreaker. I love it because Icebreaker are very, they're quite ethical, and they use a lot of wool in their products, and I've bought a load of their products. Go and look them up. Icebreaker, they're brilliant. New Zealand. They're practically rowed across by Greta herself. Anyway, that is it. There we go. We've done everything, I think.
Needles.
Oh, of course, except the offer. Just as well Pete's there to keep me in check. We've been demonstrating today our needles. We have a special offer for you on most of the needles. We'll do 10% off. It'll be ready from, so why don't we say 2? That'll give me enough time. Yes?
Yeah.
From 2 p.m. today,
10% off all our needles.
all our needles. There we go, all our needles.
Yep.
Pete's the accountant. After 2 p.m, have a look at the needles. You'll find 10% off when you put them in a shopping basket. It's when you go to the shopping basket, you'll see them automatically reduced by 10% up until 11 a.m. next Saturday. There we go. Fantastic. And it means that all of the ladies who come on our ambassador event get 10% off too. Fabulous. I hope you've enjoyed it today. I have. I've got to do some quilting. Hadn't done any quilting for ages. Brilliant. Pete, anything else you want to add?
No, I think we're done.
We're there. We're great. Brilliant. Fantastic. Wonderful. Have a wonderful week. We look forward to seeing you next Saturday. We will be there next Saturday. 11 a.m-ish. Pete's
I've
fiddling with
managed to reverse the camera.